Any other resolutions that you have for women's hockey? I'm going to say, I know we've talked about heated rivalry. I so enjoyed watching heated rivalry. And I just think it's so interesting that people are like, oh, well, heated rivalry moments, we have those in the WNBA. And I'm like, yes, Hunty. Yes, we do. I cover them all of the time. Asia Wilson shooting over 2 engaged players was peak WNBA playoffs, and I was here for it. However, what I want is a resolution that women's hockey fans, we will not leave the hockey channel before trying to make heated rivalry comps. We don't need to go to WNBA. They exist in women's hockey. Julie Chu and Carolyn Ouellette. We have endless examples of moments where there are rivals specifically from the United States and Canada that are married with children that we can pull from. We don't have to go to the WNBA for a heated rivalry moment if we want to see that sapphic version. It already exists. It always has existed. And I just want us to call in some of those names before we go to the WNBA. Although I'm here for it because as someone who covers the WNBA, I mean, I'm good. I still win. And I just want more. I want us to reach back and tell more of the stories from women's hockey before we have to move outside of women's hockey.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things about the whole heated rivalry phenomenon has been seeing people, discover Julie Chu and Caroline Ouellette, right?
Yeah, or Megan Duggan and Jillian Apps.
Yeah, there's so many couples that people don't even know about.
Right. Not to mention, they're not rivals because they literally play on the same team, but we have a literal married couple playing on Montreal, and they are on the same line. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that all the heated rivalry fans become PWHL fans. I don't know if you can tell. It's part of my secret strategy because I made so many videos trying to recruit them.
Yes, do it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. We need more of it. So, yeah, I think that'll be fun. Any other resolutions that you have for women's hockey fans, especially coming from 365 Hockey Girl? I know this is your vibe. This is so you coded, right? How can fans be better women's hockey fans moving into 2026?
Honestly, I'm just excited for the Olympics because I feel like it's going to create so many new women's hockey fans. So if you're a women's hockey fan, just recruit all your friends, force them to watch the Olympics, and then we can grow the fan base together.
100%. And make sure you stay locked on 206 Sports Collective as part of Black Rosie Media, because we have 2 people, myself and Joe Dabney, that are going to be boots. And I do mean boots because I will have my winter boots on the ground in Milan. That's right. We will be in Milan for the 2026 Olympics, less than 40 days away, which is insanity. And of course, we're going to have voices like Ava, like Rachel, like Angelica, continuing to help us along with our content. We are refining that content strategy right now, so you're not going to want to miss everything from social media. We're going to have our podcasts and our newsletter. We do a pop-up newsletter every Olympics, so I'm wearing my Paris hat. So we do a pop-up newsletter at Black Rosie Media for Summer and Winter Olympics called Gold Medal Dispatch. So make sure you subscribe there. At the top of the year, aka tomorrow, we will start doling out not just hockey content, but just Olympic hockey, Olympic and Paralympic storylines that you need to know to get ready before Milano. Okay, Ava, we have come to the point in the episode where we are going to just momentarily get your power rankings. But for Torrent fans, as we get ready to go into 2026 and before our next show, the Seattle Torrent will have 2 games, both on the road. They will take on the Toronto Scepters on January 3rd in Hamilton. So that's going to be an exciting one at TD Coliseum. And then Wednesday, January 7th, we will likely record an episode that day, but we won't, of course, know the results yet of that game. But they take on Boston again. They get another bite at Boston, January 7th. And that is, of course, at Agganis Arena in Boston. Is there one of these games that you think is going to be most compelling and that you're excited to see how Seattle will bounce back on the other side, or the 2026 side, I should say, of their inaugural season.
I mean, I'm excited for the Scepters game because we haven't played the Scepters yet.
There you go. We've got no scout on them, or at least not no head-to-head scout. I like that. Yep, we'll see how they fare. I, though, am going to take the Boston game, just because, I want to see first who we see in net. I think I still do like Schroeder overall for that, against that Boston squad, as compared to Hannah Murphy. But I don't know. Will Coach O'Rourke switch it up and put Murphy, the rookie, in front of that team? But I'm sure the Boston Fleet fans will be excited to have Hillary Knight back. So that's going to be a really good one. Okay, now just a reminder, before or during our last show, we had Boston, Montreal, Vancouver, Seattle, Minnesota, Toronto, New York, and Ottawa. Those were my specific rankings. As I have said before, I go off of vibes, and I go off of vibes week to week. So I don't hold as much weight cumulatively on the season. I more so like to do my power rankings personally based on how the teams performed in effectively a 7-day window. But for these power rankings, who do you want to see? Just as a reminder, our actual rankings as far as standings points: Boston, Minnesota, Toronto, New York, Montreal, Seattle, and then Vancouver and Ottawa. But who do you have in the number one spot, Ava, for your power rankings?
You know how much it pains. You know how much it pains me to say this. But I got to go Minnesota Frost number one. And you know this is legit because I don't want them to be number one. I don't want this. But 7 goals for Kendall Coyne Schofield.
That's nasty work. Yeah. Yep. The truth. Kendall Coyne Schofield is like, I'm out here trying to get ready for these Olympics, in case y'all ain't know. I might be a mama. I might have been to a few Olympics, but I'm ready. She's going like beast mode right now.
How does she
I'm here for it?
Better.
I mean, I don't know if y'all know, Kendall Coyne Schofield, small in stature, but extremely intense. Like extremely intense. Like you can tell, especially in post games, when she hasn't turned off from game mode, because when she's turned off, oh my gosh, she has this like infectious little giggle and laugh. Her energy is amazing. But when Kendall Coyne Schofield has not turned off from game mode, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Thank you so much. Just thank you. That's all I have to say is thank you. I'm gonna leave you alone now. Please don't harm me. It's like a dog with a bone. Are you gonna go in and reach and try to grab that? I don't think so. So yeah, she's in absolute beast mode, and I love to see it. Also, it's not just Schofield though. You've got Kelly Pannek is at the top of the table when it comes to points. Britta Curl, of course, is there as well, points overall. Kendall Coyne Schofield is currently leading the league, as you said, with 7 goals. Then you have assists. Curl is up there. You've got Kendall Cooper, and Taylor Heise is also, oh my God, that Heise goal. Heise called game. Yeah, it's looking scary good. Nicole Hensley is having another great season. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a good pick. Okay, Minnesota's at 1. Who do you have at number 2 in your power rankings?
I don't know. I'm torn here because I kind of want to go Boston, but like I'm also kind of feeling Toronto Scepters just because of their statement win against Montreal Victoire at the Bell Center. Like
big time.
They love playing at the Bell Center. Hey,
listen. For me, it's going to be Toronto. For me, it's Toronto because, I'm always going to lean into recency bias for power rankings because you know why I do that? I think, well, one, that's usually how my brain works, but also like it gives chaos. It just means that you have to be on point. And if you're not on point week after week after week, you're not staying at that number 1 spot for me. So for me, I It's not. It's not that I have anything against Boston. I'm just saying that Toronto showed up.
True.
So it might be Toronto for me, but I think either one is fine.
Well, let's put Boston 3 then.
Okay. All right. So who's coming in at 4?
So you know who I think is secretly really good is Ottawa Charge.
Listen, I am here for Ottawa Charge. Like I said, they're starting to get it together. We talked about special teams. I was like, oh my gosh, they're not at the bottom anymore. Let's go. Okay, explain your rationale for Ottawa, because they are definitely still standing points wise bottom of the basement. But do you think that they have shown some of their redeeming qualities as of late?
Well, aren't they on a 3-game win streak?
I think so, yeah.
Brianne Jenner aura. Brianne Jenner. If nobody else got me, I know Brianne Jenner got me.
That's what I know. That's what I know. You see, this is why I like doing the power rankings, where it's just like we're going off of vibes and what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, I mean, Ottawa Charge also needs to win games in regulation. So I think that's still why they're at the bottom.
That's their resolution. Win in regulation. Be better 5-on-5.
But it's kind of obviously they do need to win games in regulation, but the reason they got so far in the playoffs is because they can win overtime games. So you know what?
Facts.
More power to you.
Facts. Listen, however you do it, because y'all got to the finals. So I mean, who are we to say? Carla McLeod, again, I'm going to make a WNBA comp. I've said this about Sandy Brondello when she was coaching in Phoenix and also most recently in New York. Now she's in Toronto, or will be. Sandy Brondello would have teams that were stacked, and somehow they were just like, at the time, it was the top 8 teams in the W that get to the playoffs, and they would always be like in that 6, 7, 7, 8, 9 range. And I'm like, you have Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner. Why are we not winning games in the regular season? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're tired of playing around. We about to just lights out. We're about to knock out the top seed in the first round in a single game elimination because we're nasty like that. That's how Ottawa and Carla McLeod be giving me those vibes. And it's endlessly frustrating when you're trying to cover a league or a team day to day or week to week, because you're like, what are you doing? But then by the end of they're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. So I'm with it for Ottawa. They still have a lot of work to do. One of 2 teams alongside Vancouver that have not hit 10 points in the standings, but promising. We are seeing them really start to take hold. Okay, so we're gonna go with Ottawa. I like I said, I don't hate it. I'm here for it. Who do you have coming in next?
I also think the Sirens are secretly good.
Yes, I would agree.
I don't think the Sirens have been given as much grace as, say, Vancouver and Seattle. Because I feel like when Vancouver and Seattle were faltering early, everyone's like, oh, it's just because they're expansion teams. And I'm like, guys, the New York Sirens are pretty much a brand new team. So obviously they were going to have growing pains, especially with so many rookies. Like, yeah, it's natural that they're not going to just step into this league and immediately be superstars.
Yeah.
But now that you've seen Casey O'Brien have this explosion, have this hat trick, it's like, oh, shoot. I guess she knows how to play in the PWHL now. You've seen Kelsey up on the board a few times. You've seen them win a game without Sarah Fillier. Like, I think they're secretly good. And Kaylee Osborne is also secretly good. Like, she's literally good, and not enough people are talking about that.
I agree with you. I mean, I like the Sirens started out the gate a lot stronger than I thought they were going to. I have been very critical of the Sirens in the first 2 seasons, and I stand on business. I stand 10 toes down on what I said. I said what I said because it was true at the time. But what we also know, and Angelica and I did a live show covering the draft, is that they made things happen. They were like, no. We got to move some pieces. And it's like, what do you mean? No Abby Rock, no Alex Carpenter. They let Corrine Schroeder go out the door. Ella Shelton. You're like, what is happening? What are you doing? But I think that this team, it was maybe building. You know how they sometimes use the term you're building the plane as you fly it? I feel like that was New York in the first 2 seasons. And now they're like, no. We're going to land. We're going to assess. and we're going to intentionally build this thing. That's what it feels like to me. So I'm with you. I'm with you there for New York. So we've got Minnesota, Toronto, Boston, Ottawa, New York. All right. How are we lining it up the rest of the way?
Okay, who do we have left? Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Oh my gosh, I haven't put Montreal yet.
No, you have not.
Montreal's secretly bad.
Well,
I'm not sure. Some of the feedback I've heard from Montreal fans are like, why can't anybody other than Abby Rock score? And I'm like, it is starting to look a little bit reminiscent of some Montreal teams we've seen in the past where their big issue has been, okay, you got this top line going. Obviously, Natalie Mankova has been a standout for me as well as a newcomer to this team, but you start to wonder a little bit, okay, we need the other forwards to be stepping up. Obviously, having Rock with Polaine and Stacy is working miracles, but it's working for Abby Rock.
Yeah, I mean, but they're never more than one line, or often it feels that way. Now they were able to, get it done at points last season, and that's also because they have Anne Renee Desbiens. Like, come on. I like that for them. But I think when you look at Ottawa, like you said, 3-game win streak. When you look at the Sirens, they won their last 2 games. Montreal has dropped their last 2. So again, if you go by recency bias, yeah, I do think that the other 2 teams in the most recent set of games have done more than Montreal. They've gotten more wins than Montreal. So are they going to stay there? Maybe not. But are they there? At least for right now, I think it's fair to put them there. And they dropped. From, what was it, 2 to 5 since our last podcast.
Yeah, my biggest question with this Montreal team is obviously they made a lot of moves in the offseason, but did they change the character of their team? That's my biggest question. Because
that's a big one.
Yeah, because is this going to be just another team that is successful in the regular season and not in the playoffs?
Ooh,
I don't know that question, but I'm starting to get a little concerned.
Oh, yikes. We've got not just Toronto, but Montreal, at least in the PWHL, that can't quite get over the hump. In the men's hockey, that's all Maple Leafs. At least, well, they've been turning the tide recently. I think they advanced one time. Okay, I think it's fair for this week. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens by the next time we hop on the microphones. But it seems a bit harsh. It seems way harsh, Ty. And at the same time, I don't think they deserve to be ahead of New York and Ottawa, at least not this week. All right, so then you know what that means. We got to decide between Vancouver and Seattle.
I'm not sure about this.
This is tough. And so we're recording after Vancouver just dropped a game to New York to close out the 2025 portion of the game. They also lost to in overtime to in Edmonton to Minnesota. They lost 4-2 to Montreal just before our last podcast. So again, they've got 2 losses. Seattle did get that one pretty big win to end Montreal's, I think it was a 4-game win streak at the time. So I think that gives them an up over Vancouver, but they played more games since we last recorded, and they lost 2 of the 3 games. So is the Montreal game enough to put Seattle over Vancouver because they did get a win? Do you consider how many games were played because it wasn't the same amount? This is tough. But for me, I'm going to put Seattle over Vancouver.
I'm going to put Seattle over Vancouver, but I think both of these teams being in the 7th, 8th spot is both warranted.
100%. 100%. They got to figure it out. It's just the consistency is not there. It's just not. I had much higher hopes. I love Cara Mori. I love her whole philosophy, and I really on paper loved what she was building for this team. But you look at, isn't Claire Thompson out for them right now? Sarah Nurse is out for them right now. And it goes back to maybe what you were saying about Montreal, or kind of big broad strokes, what we were saying about Seattle and goaltending. When you have a team whether it was built that way or not. How it was built is, at least for right now, is not the point. In actuality, these teams are struggling if they don't get like extraordinary performances from like 2-3 players.
Yep. Yeah.
This is like you got to get more. And so is it how the team was built? Is it how the team is coached? Or is it how the team is executing? One is a GM's issue, one is a coaching issue, and one is a player's issue. Is it a little bit of all three? And it's not, I'm saying it that way because, that's how we assess and judge sports. I'm not saying it as an indictment. Anyone needs to lose their job. As we've talked about, it's just a quarter of the way through. Not even all teams are at 9 games yet. So these are fixable things, and you got to start identifying what you want to fix and how you're going to fix it.
Agreed.
So,
well, I hope the court can turn it around.
Yeah. Are we going to start seeing trades? Like what's happening? Are we going to start seeing, but changes have to be made. You have to at least try to change some things up, because you can't just miraculously hope and wish for players to come back from injury. Injuries happen. We've got some long-term injuries, unfortunately, to some really key players. Suspensions for Seattle. That's not ideal.
Honestly, I'm not worried about the suspension for Seattle, only because Terra Lova has already been out earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I hear you. And Terra Lova, I think, is a piece that Seattle, whether they realized it or not, is they're finding out how much Terra Lova is, how much she anchors and can be a calming presence on the defensive side. You know what else she's really good at? And we haven't seen that. She did get her first point. But if you look back to those Ottawa Charge teams, Terra Lova was doing a really great job as far as blue liners in getting points because of her ability to move the puck. And what was I saying earlier? This is a team that I don't think moves the puck very efficiently. And you have a blue liner like Terra Lova who can do that, a blue liner who you want to activate. But first it was because of an injury she suffered. I mentioned the hit that she took from Vanishova in that first game. And now it's with the suspension. So it's like a start, stop. And this is a player who, if she's healthy, and again, in less than 40 days, is going to start switching her mind to Team Czechia. And so that's in and of itself another start-stop, at least for her. And I'm sure as much as players want to be like, I'm with Seattle now, I'm focused on Seattle now. That's what you say. That's what I say. That's what we all say. And the reality is, when you have something so momentous, so big, you have to be thinking about how you're managing your physical, your mental, your emotional state. To not just get through the Olympic tournament, but then to get through it and come back to play for your pro team. You can't tell me that that's not a mitigating factor for a lot of players, not just Terra Lova, but when Terra Lova is such a huge impact, or I think has the potential to have such a huge impact on how Seattle moves the puck. Yeah, it's kind of a big loss in 2 games, because 2 games is not really just 2 games. 2 games in a 30-game season, it's a significant stretch. And the 2 games, yeah. And the 2 games that they're playing Boston, and they're going to see Toronto for the first time. Toronto is not a team. You want to talk about a fast team? You want to talk about a team that can score in bunches, and you blink and then you're like, oh, dang, I'm on the mat? That's Toronto.
Yeah.
Daryl Watts. Stop it. So it's tough. But you know what? That's why we play the games. That's why we do the sports. That's why we talk about it, because you have to find a way. And the teams that find a way are the teams that put themselves in the best position when we get towards the end of the regular season to make a strong run, because they are problem solving, they're troubleshooting in real time. They're not waiting and hoping for things to get better, because they might not ever get better. And that's not, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but one day you get an injury, then you get a suspension, then you have an international break, and that you just have to make do with what you got. It's the time of year when everyone is going to be talking about Mariah Carey. No, not All I Want for Christmas, but her other viral moment where she's talking about, I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. It's one of my favorite video clips of Mariah Carey. You got to do the best you can with what you got. And I'm very curious to see what teams are going to scrap through. Minnesota, that's why they're up there on our power rankings. Toronto and Ottawa too. That's why they moved up, because they did the best they can with what they got. And now we need to see Seattle, but particularly Vancouver. As much as we talk about Seattle, I'm just not sure that Vancouver knows where to go, what to look for, how to pivot. And that's a little bit of a problem. They got to figure that out.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched the Vancouver games as closely, so that's why I can't diagnose why they're losing games. Whereas with Torrent, I'm like, okay, this is why we're losing.
Well, and that's why we are the 206 Sports Collective, because we get to talk about Seattle sports. And yeah, I mean, I got to see the back end of that Vancouver game. I've seen a little bit of it, but again, it's not just Vancouver. That's not just a Vancouver thing. But when it comes to justifying power rankings, I think Seattle is a little more nimble, or at least perceivably more nimble right now in what they're trying and what they can deploy. Whereas Vancouver just kind of seems like we're going to stick with our plan. And, there's a time where you have to do that. I don't know if that time is right now for Vancouver, but, I don't know. But we'll see. Well, Ava, I want to say that my New Year's resolution is for us to just continue to get better, bolder, badder when it comes to our hot takes, when it comes to our podcasting. I enjoy talking women's hockey, but more specifically Seattle Torrent hockey with you week to week, and I cannot wait to continue doing it. So that's a resolution / manifestation / something that I'm grateful for. I hit 3 different holidays right there.
Erica, thanks. And thanks for having me. And yeah, I love being on here. I love talking to you about Torrent. Honestly, it's hilarious because sometimes I talk to people about Torrent and I'm like, they do not want to hear me talking about hockey right now. So it feels good to talk to you about it.
That's it. We are here for each other and for all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 206 Sports Collective, part of Black Rosie Media. Again, Ava Wood is your founder of 365 Hockey Girl. Make sure you check that out on all social platforms. A great place if you're getting into women's hockey. Again, we're going to make all those heated rivalry fans, women's hockey fans, and just a great resource. I love having Ava on here. And of course, my name is Erica L. Ayala. I'm your founder of Black Rosie Media, where we empower Black women and melanated creators in sports media, specifically, although not exclusively, women's sports. We elevate women's sports for sure. So make sure you check out our women's basketball roundup newsletter that goes out every Wednesday and Friday. And as I mentioned, the Gold Medal Dispatch newsletter, a pop-up newsletter, will be back in rotation as we count down the days to Milano, Cortina. January 2nd, Team USA is going to reveal their rosters for Paralympic, men's, and of course the women's teams that will compete in Milan Cortina. So we'll have that and so much more at the Gold Medal Dispatch and at Black Rosie Media. But for Ava Wood, Erica L. Ayala, wishing you a very happy new year. If you're like me, Latina, we're going to eat our 12 grapes, set our intentions and our focus for a beautiful 2026. As I like to say, closing out my Seattle hockey podcasts, a reminder to be kind to yourself and then extend that love and kindness to others when you are able. We hold fast, we stay true, and loud and proud we say, let's go Torrent, let's go Kraken, and let's get after it in 2026. Peace out, everybody.